Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have two home games against Levante and Tenerife in La Liga to finish off the season. Form has been very good since the Spanish Super Cup final. We've won 4-0 against Malaga, 3-1 against Bilbao, 2-0 against Gijon, and then 3-1 against Elche, followed by 3-0 against Vigo there as well. These last two home games, I'm hoping for good results. Real Madrid have officially won the league now, they're 7 points ahead of us, and at most we can finish just the 1 point behind them, but they have to lose two games anyway. We've guaranteed ourselves second place, which is always a good place to finish to a point, I suppose. But we are recognising that we're not too far off, really. It's just going to be a case of we've just got to try and catch them. I'm not sure what's happening next season as of yet. I feel a little bit revived in the fact that we've actually won a trophy now, but at the same time, we keep falling short on other expectations, and I'm not sure exactly how far we can go with this Barcelona team at the minute. We are looking into a new goalkeeper already, ready for next season. I'm hoping to get the deal done before these last two games are done, but again, we'll have to wait and see. He's 21 years of age, the goalkeeper is 6'2", and he looks very good, to be quite honest. So we'll have to wait and see if we can bring him in. It's going to be about £42 million for him, and that could signal the end of Heddle. As such, we've rotated quite a lot today. Torre is in goal. We've guaranteed second place anyway, so it does mean that we've been able to rotate a bit. And Eloy Gelmer, who hasn't played a lot of football recently, has just scored for us. We've taken the lead after just 5 minutes against Levante. And like I say, with the fact that obviously the season's practically done now, we don't have to fight for a position as such. The rails are off a little bit. We've rotated the team, as you can see. Torre being in goal for his full first team debut. Um, so it's just a case of seeing how we get on with some of these other players. Here is Achabar. Tobias Gonzalez couldn't quite win it, but Otto does in midfield. Now Achabar into Olsen, Caminata, Luis Fernando into Saglin Bene. Couldn't quite find the support ahead of him. Here's Shalepko into Aziz Abid. Low couldn't quite win it either. Hez, who's on a yellow card, by the way, already early on, but he loses out, and Tobias Gonzalez looking to charge forward here. He does have support in the penalty area if he can find it. Plays it back to Achabar. Back into Gonzalez. There is Luis Fernando. It's 2-0, 15 minutes gone. And considering the amount that we've rotated for this game, we're not looking too bad. 15 minutes gone. Luis Fernando finally managing to get a goal under his belt as well. He's only scored a few so far this season, and he's not really settled in too much, but hopefully he will be able to do so as things go forward. But 2 shots on target and 2 goals. Can't ask for more than that, can we, at the moment? And I'm not expecting the team to go all out completely in these last two games. Like I say, we're rotating for a reason, and we will give the youngsters some game time as well, off the bench probably. Torre here into Olsen. Looks over the top. Tobias Gonzalez picks it up ahead of the defender, and he goes in onto goal, but Cardenas with a comfortable save in the end. Gonzalez with the strike. Should have potentially finished a bit better than he did, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. At the minute, at 2-0, we're looking quite comfortable. Here is Abelan. That's a good switch of play though. Savigne into Hez. And now Tresoldi. Good tackle from Molina. We've looked quite good so far here defensively as well. Here is Gelmer. Into Torre. Now Olsen. Achabar. Just gradually moving forward down this right hand side here. Tobias Gonzalez looks to lay it across. Instead, he makes a full run into Saglin Bene, and now Jan Low. Chance for three, and there it is. Jan Low with his 17th goal of the season. I think I had a look at the goal scoring stats of the side. We've actually had 6 or 7 players reach double figures this season. It's been a very good, prolific season for a number of the players. And Jan Low, toward the end of the season, has certainly come into his own, both playing out wide and up front. As you can see, by number 17 of the season there, he's finished it really well. And we are sat at 3-0 after half an hour. Really good performance so far. Hoping it will continue as we go. As you can see, match stats wise, we're dominating as well. Levante are near the bottom of the league. Tenerife have actually already been relegated as well, so the rotation should be more than enough in both games, hopefully. Here is Achabar, played over the top here. Now Tobias Gonzalez, there's number 4. 37 minutes gone, and we are looking very comfortable now. And I think, to be honest, after winning the Spanish Cup, we've looked very, very good in all of our matches. So I think it's going to be a case of hopefully we can build on from there, depending on where we find ourselves next season. Here is Tobias Gonzalez with the finish, of course, there into the bottom corner. And chances are we might make some changes at half time, to be fair, just rest some of the key players. Not that it really matters, of course. Here is Heze into Savigny. Saglimbene managing to intercept quite comfortably. Into Otto, now Jan Low has got support. Tobias Gonzalez plays it through looking for Luis Fernando. Couldn't quite squeeze it through, but the pressure is still on here for Levante. Williams and Abelan exchanging passes. It goes back to their goalkeeper Cardenas, and he looks for Trasoldi. Gelmer does well to win the header, and Caminata into Achabar. Olsen to Caminata. Now Luis Fernando into Jan Low. Chance to play it through maybe. Luis Fernando did well to beat one player but couldn't beat the second. Olsen wins the header. Shalepko into Savigny. Plays it through, and there's a big chance maybe here for Trasoldi. And Trasoldi scores. No clean sheet on debut for Torre, unfortunately. It's Trasoldi's 18th of the season for Levante. Their one attempt at goal has heralded a goal, but they've since had a couple more efforts. But the game's done practically anyway. It's 4-1 at half-time. And a very convincing first half performance, it has to be said. We'll just tell the players to keep going. We won't make any substitutions just yet. Player fitness isn't looking too bad. Molina and Otto look like they might be struggling a little bit, so we will make some changes eventually, but we'll see how things go. Torre here into Gelmer. Now Molina. Just holding on to it, looking to get forward. He's still holding on to possession. Instead lays it back to Gelmer. Now Luis Fernando. Tobias Gonzalez holds on to it quite well. Otto looking over the top. Jan Low is in behind Silva. Jan Low is around the keeper. And there is number 5. Goal number 18 of the season for Jan Low. This is all competitions, by the way. It's not just in the league. It's all the cup competitions as well. But we're certainly finishing the season off in style, it would appear. We're at home against Tenerife as well, so I'm expecting certainly more of the same in that game as well. So hopefully we can continue to do this. And positive signs going into next season. I don't think we need an awful lot where the squad's concerned. I think it's just a case of fine-tuning 1 or 2 positions, and then that'll be that. And I'm thinking maybe a defender. We've got the goalkeeper hopefully going to come in, but a defender might be the order of the day. The rest of the team I'm quite happy with. We might want maybe an extra central midfielder, but I'm not sure yet. We've got Morikawa, but he can't play for us with the rulings that we've got with the foreign players, because obviously with Luis Fernando and Echeverria, the right back, and I can't remember who the other one was actually. It might have been one Echeverria. There was another one who's part of the 3-man side of things, and I can't quite fathom out who it was now, but that's why Morikawa got loaned out in the end. Here is Savigny moving forward. Bit of an error at the back by Molina. It's a good tackle by Caminata, and he manages to clear, and Jan Low picks it up, and he's got support ahead of him if he can find it. He's still making the run down this left-hand side. He's got support in the penalty area, Jan Low. He went alone, and it was a good save in the end from Cardenas. And Tobias Gonzalez in the end was actually offside, so that put an end to that move. 5-1, 50 minutes to go. I'm not going to make any changes, I don't think. Nothing is too desperate to warrant it. A couple of players are struggling for fitness now, but the game is done anyway. So, I mean, Torre has conceded, but he's rated a 7, so he's had a good game, really, the young goalkeeper. Can't fault that at all. Levante just trying to push forward again here. It's Diamande into Silva. We're certainly keeping the pressure on. Achabat has missed that header, though, and there is their second of the game. Abelan with the goal. Poor from Achabar at the back, really, there. Should have done better. But they've grown in the game, as you can see. 6 shots on target out of 9. And at one point, we were certainly a dominant force. But It's not been quite as convincing in the second half, nonetheless, but it doesn't matter, like I say. A 5-2 win, job done. We've got a week before the Tenerife game, so we'll get through that off camera, and hopefully we can finish the season in style. And I think if we actually win this last game, we'll hit 90 points, which again, really good achievement, to be honest. To not win a title when you've hit 90 points is quite unlucky, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Real Madrid have won the league 11 seasons in a row in game now, so you can see just how much of a dominant force they have been. Yeah, if we beat Tenerife, as you can see, we'll hit 90 points, but fortunately, Real Madrid are just that little bit more consistent and better than us. So bear with me, we've got that week to go until the Tenerife game, and then we'll be back for the last game of the season. Okay, here we go. It's the last game of the season. We're at home against Tenerife. Second place already secured, as I mentioned in the previous game. Again, a little bit of rotation, nothing too drastic. And we enter the match as favourites, and we just look to finish the season on a high. Tenerife have already been confirmed as relegated. They will finish bottom of the table, unfortunately for them. So, again, we wait and see what happens now. It's just going to be a case of play the match out, and then we look to next season. And as I was saying before, I don't know if we're still going to be in charge of Barcelona or not. We'll see what kind of things happen over the course of the summer. But it's going to be a difficult decision to make, to be quite honest. Like I say, Real Madrid dominating the league. They've got the core of their squad is still going to go on for another couple of years. They're very difficult to beat in the league. They've won the last 11. Truly a dominant force. And the Champions League, I don't know if we're capable. So we'll have to certainly think onto it as we go ahead into the summer. Here is Paleo and Tito exchanging passes. Now Monge into Zeben. Saglin challenging well, keeping the pressure on. Sibakamba managing to clear. And in the end, Echeverria mops it up with Gelmer and Olsen. Here is Torre. Back into Olsen again. Now Otto. Otto's not done too bad. He got 2 assists in that game against Levante from central midfield. Considering largely he's a defender, not bad. Here's Luis Fernando, and he's hit the post. He should be finishing those chances though. And now Echeverria picks it up. Slightly unlucky, but like I say, he's got to be scoring those opportunities if he is really to establish himself in this squad. The fact that he can play up front and in central midfield does give us that versatility at least. But he is going to have to improve form-wise, I think. And a good effort there from Tenerife, trying to get themselves ahead in the game. But it goes over the bar. Possession-wise and chance-wise, we're doing very well at the minute, dominating proceedings as we suspected, but not an early goal so far. Luis Fernando hasn't done too well when he's been playing up front, it has to be said. So I think in the future his position will have to be central midfield. We've got options on the bench anyway. But we'll have to see how things go. 4 attempts on target out of 9. Still 0-0. Not many highlights to speak of. And hopefully we will finish the season on a high, but we'll see. Here is Saglin Bene. It's ended up all the way back to the goalkeeper Torre, who passes it out to Olsen. Now Otto. Into Olsen again. Now Scalvini. Saglin Bene picks it up. Chance to play it forward. Luis Fernando nods it back to Otto. And Otto decided to strike it. It's just over the crossbar. Not a bad effort from the defender come midfield player. So he's the best player on the pitch by the looks of things. 7.5 rating for him at the moment. Caminata with a chance here from a free kick. Whips it in toward the near post. It's just over the crossbar. Keeper probably had it covered if it was on target, looking at his positioning. But half time, 0-0. Not masses of positivities in the performance so far. Real Madrid are at 1-1 away at Valencia. Not that that matters, of course. It's already done and dusted where the league is concerned. But I think we'll certainly make substitutions in the second half. I mean, Tenerife haven't created anything going forward, but defensively they've looked quite resilient so far. As we go into the last half an hour, we will make some changes, I think. We'll get Ramal Het on up front for Luis Fernando. Let's have a look, see who've we got. Who've we got? Pradera can come on at right back, give him another opportunity, and we're going to take Caminata off for Jose Antonio Ruiz, get him a little bit more game time as well. And I think, to be honest, for now, we'll just leave it at that. Give the couple of youngsters that little bit more game time and get Ramal on up front for that clinical finishing, hopefully. Here's Jan Low into Olsen. Now Pradera. Lovely pass into Jan Low. Couldn't quite find the support in the penalty area. It's cleared away. Scalvini picks it up and strikes from distance off the crossbar. And CB Camba manages to get it away. Real Madrid 2-1 up away at Valencia, incidentally. Bergstrom with a clearance forward, looking for Johansson. We do manage to get it away, but Johansson picks it up and finds Krezu. Now Puyol into Pelayo, back into Puyol again, looking over the top. There's no support there, and Molina picks it up comfortably. Ruiz with a brilliant ball over the top, and Jan Low is in behind. Puyol with a brilliant challenge, and Iliev finds Marino. But there's a chance for Ruiz, and a good save from Bergstrom. Jan Low picks it up on the rebound, and he is at it again. A hint of offside potentially, but I think it was okay. But saying that, we've proven it before and have been completely wrong. But no offside. He was on at the time of the strike from Ruiz. And Bergstrom made a very good save, though, incidentally. But Jan Low, with his effort, I think that's his 18th or 19th of the season in all competitions. And very much deserved. We have our lead now. And it's just a case of seeing the game out, really. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to comment on, really, with it being the last game of the season. There's no pressure. Second place is guaranteed. And we've certainly done the job. So that is the most we can say, really. Achabar's going to come on in that holding midfield position. It's not a position that he's normally playing in, but he is on there nonetheless. And as injury time comes to a close, we've won the game by a goal to nil. It should have been by more, but we take the 3 points, and that is that. Season is complete, and we look ahead to see where we end up from there. It could be a busy summer, like I say. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be staying here. We might end up moving on. We've finally won a trophy with them, though, so there is scope for improvement now, and we can hopefully push on in the future. Will we get a job as good as Barcelona? That's another thing we've got to consider. It is really going to be a difficult decision. We've already started building the team for next season as well, so that also has to be bared in mind. But at the same time, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see, I think, and hope for the best. Certainly things to think about, and we'll either come back at the start of next season with the transfer roundup in the first game of the season, or we may have a welcome to a new club. We'll see how things develop. Just wait for this to tick over, and then that will be that. So, overall, Champions League a disappointment again. Copa del Rey, brilliant. We've finally brought the trophy back to the Nou Camp. In terms of the league, we seem to have been a little bit better this season, but catching Real Madrid is proving to be a very big challenge, and it's something that I don't know if we'll be able to do at the moment. But I suppose the only way to find out is to stay at the club and wait and see, but we'll have to review that as we go into the summer. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.